When I found out that all things are from thee, I knew I had somebody true. I turned my hopes towards you. Now all I want to do is tell you that I really love you so much. I really love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. Now in all my struggles today, I see that it's you that makes a way. I declare loyalty to Yahweh. How can I leave my Lord when I know that I really need you so much? I really need you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I should die, my King. Oh, please save my people, please, from destruction in these streets. I beg you, please, for we become a memory. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told Jehovah my King, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. Say no me, say no me.
All right, we are back. My name is Shamsu Reef, along with Brother Cartrell of New York City, my co-host and friend. We're here tonight to bring you your studies again. Our beach house is not son now. She's listening but studying right along with us. With that being said, welcome back to the Real Talk. We'll be studying again in the first book of Maccabees, chapter 8, the introduction of the Romans. And these studies by virtue of the Romans is a much lighthearted approach to it. But by virtue of my own personal studies outside of the book of Maccabees, the Romans wasn't any better than me. But I don't believe the Buddhists had that liberty forethought to know how devious they were, despicable they were in regards to Greeks. They were no better than the Greeks and Philistines. But Yehuda didn't have the knowledge that we had, was our studies, I would say, from other sources. As far as the Romans are concerned, and as far as the Greeks are concerned. In First Maccabees, chapter 8, Brother Cartrell will begin this study in the book of Hosea, chapter 10. Israel sinned in captivity. What got us in trouble with the Most High, what got us captured, because of what seems to be keeping us captive as far as that is concerned. That being said, I'd like to give praise and thanks to the Most High. Water I drink, food I eat, every aspect and component of my life. The opportunity to study with you on the Real Talk to Real People show.
Please save my people, please, from destruction in these streets, I beg you, please.
Okay. Well, there you go. My apologies. I didn't realize the music was playing in the background. That's why she's the administrator of the show. She brought it to my attention that music was playing as I was giving my preamble for the course of our studies and direction. I'd like to thank the Most High also for my family, my tribe, the tribes, the nation. I'd like to pray the Most High and help him to give us wisdom and understanding, love and compassion, humility, to learn how to gather ourselves together. Most importantly, humility, because it is an essential component for us as a nation, humility. Praise Yah. So, without further ado, let me bring Brother Cottrell on. Brother Cottrell, your mic is hot. Your mic is hot. And we're listening.
Shalom, shalom, family. Bless Yah, oh my soul, and all that's within me. Bless his holy name. All praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One in Yisrael, the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael. Thanking him for all things and everything. Brother Yamsuf, Ari, Sister Nasanya, how y'all doing? May the Most High bless you. Shalom.
Doing okay, brother. Well, thank you for asking, and we're very appreciative. And may we ask the same thing in regards to you and your family.
Oh, we are all well. Everybody's good. Praise Yah. Thanking him for
Praise
another
Yah.
day. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
I see
Thank
you
you,
liking
Brother
that music, man. I see you liking that music, bro.
Man, I'm digging it, brother. I'm on top of it. I'm digging it. I'm jamming. I'm praising the Most High by virtue of this music.
Yeah, man.
It's very refreshing and very informative, this music. Praise Yah.
Unique. You never heard nothing like it before.
No, brother, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Thank you, Brother Cottrell.
Yes, sir.
So if everybody's ready to get started, let us get started. The introduction of the Romans into our lives. Yehudis had heard of the reputation of the Romans, which they were valiant fighters. They acted admirably to all who took their side. They established a friendly alliance with all who applied to them. He was told of their battles and the brave deeds. Somebody really watched them in this chapter, that they performed against the Gauls, conquering them and forcing them to pay tribute. And what they did in Spain to get possession of the silver and gold mines. That's why I call it a universal captivity, because they got control of everybody, the Gauls, the Spaniards. And if you don't know who the Gauls were, check them out. Study who the Gauls were, and you'll have an idea where this European conquest has came about. By plan and persistence, they subjugated the whole region. Although it was very remote from their own, they also subjugated the kings who had come against them from the far corners of the earth until they crushed them, inflicted on them severe defeat. The rest paid tribute to them every year. Philip and Perseus, king of the Macedonians, the Greeks, and the other who opposed them in battle, they overwhelmed and subjugated. Antiochus, the great king of Asia, who fought against them with 120 elephants and with cavalry and chariots. We know about Hannibal too, and the elephants. And had a very great army, was defeated by them. They took him alive and obliged him and the kings who succeeded him to pay a heavy tribute, to give hostages, and to cede. Lycia, Mysia, and Lydia from among their best provinces. The Romans took these from him and gave them to King Hymenaeus. When the Greeks planned to come and destroy it, the Romans discovered it and sent against the Greeks a single general who made war on them. Many were wounded and fell, and the Romans took their wives and children captive. They plundered them, took possession of their land, tore down their strongholds, and reduced them to slavery, even to this day at that time. And they had a sort of a like captivity too. They captured in the system of universal white race supremacy too. All the other kingdoms and islands that had ever opposed them, they destroyed and enslaved. With their friends, however, those who relied on them, they maintained friendship to their advantage. They subjugated kings both near and far, and all who heard of their fame were afraid of them. They certainly were. They were a great military dynasty. Those whom they wished to help and make kings, they made kings, and those whom they wished they dispose. And they are greatly exalted. Yet, with all this, none of them put on a diadem, a crown, or wore purple as a display of grandeur. No, but they were emperors. They didn't put on outward display of a crown, but believe you me, these Caesars and emperors was nothing nice. Verse 15, but they made for themselves a senate chamber. Every day, 320 men took counsel, deliberating on all that concerned the people and their well-being. They entrusted the government to one man. They certainly did. That's how the Caesars came about. And it wasn't every year. These Caesars really took control, just sort of like Donald Trump in a sense. Every year to rule over the entire land. They all obeyed that one. And there's no envy or jealousy among them. They didn't read what I read. I read about the Caesars. I read about the Romans and so on. Because, we have additional information. As I said, Yehudis didn't have this information that we have privy to. But we have information about the Romans, their governmental structure, their people, their morality, and so on and so forth, and their so-called friendship. And Yehudis proposed a treaty with the Romans. So, you better be careful who you want to make a treaty with. These very Romans put some hurt on Yehudis and the nation. So Yehudis chose Polymus, son of John, son of Achos, and of Jason, son of Eliezer, and sent them to Rome to establish friendship and alliance with them, a treaty. He did this to lift the yoke from Israel, for it was obvious that the kingdom of the Greeks was subjecting them to slavery. Well, they certainly were. And the Romans didn't do any better. After making a very long journey to Rome, the envoys entered the Senate chamber and spoke as follows, the ones he sent. Yehudis, called Maccabeus, and his brothers with the Yehudites have sent us to you to establish alliance and peace with you, and to be enrolled among your allies and friends. Let us join in, so to speak. Let us get in where we fit in. That doesn't work out too well for us. And the evidence speaks for itself. In the case of the Greeks, and certainly in the case of the Romans. And this is the copy of the reply they inscribed on bronze tablets and sent to Jerusalem, to remain there with the Yehudites as a record of peace and alliance. That didn't work out. May it be very well with the Romans and the Yehudite nation. No, it's not a Yehudite nation, it's a nation. The Yehudite is certainly one tribe of a nation, but the Yehudite, and I don't know about this Jewish thing, Yehudite nation certainly didn't encompass the Benyamins, who were left, the Levites who were left. So it wasn't a Yehudite nation. So there was a misunderstanding as far as the Romans were concerned. There's certainly some misunderstanding as far as the translation is concerned. At sea and on land, forever. My sword and enemy be far from them. For if war is first made on Rome, or any of its allies, and any of those dominions, the Yehudite nation will fight along with them wholeheartedly. Should have been the Israelite nation. Will fight along with them wholeheartedly, as the occasion shall demand. And to those who wage war, they shall not no assistance. They shall not give or provide grain, weapons, money, or ships as seems best to Rome. They shall fulfill their obligation without receiving any recompense. We ain't got to, whatever expenditures that you have to spend on being our allies, that's on you. And in the same way, if war is first made on the Yehudite nation, the Israelite nation, the Romans will fight along with them willingly, as the occasion shall demand. And to those who attack them, there shall not be given grain, weapons, money, or ships as seem best to Rome. They shall fulfill their obligation without deception. On these terms, the Romans have made an agreement with the Israelite people. They're saying Jewish, the derivative of Yehudite. But if both parties hereafter agree to add or take away anything, if both parties, they shall do as they choose. Whatever they shall add or take away shall be valid. Moreover, concerning the wrong that King Demetrius is doing to them, the Greeks, we have written to him thus: why have you made, they should have sought Yah. They should have went to Yah instead of going to the Romans. They should have turned to the Most High. Why have you made your yoke heavy upon our friends and allies in Yehuda, in Israel, so to speak? If they petition against you again, we will enforce justice and make war. And if they make a complaint against you, they're telling the Greeks, we will enforce justice and make war on you by sea and land. Rather straight to the point. I don't know who wrote this chapter. The glorification of the Romans. Like I said, I study more than just the Most High's word. I study a vast source of information, historically speaking, in regards to the Greeks, in regards to the Romans, and so on and so forth. I'm a historical buff, so to speak, in that regard. And so my studies of the Romans are quite different from Yehuda's Maccabees' take on them. And certainly from the contemporary people at that time. Well, you know, this came from the Roman Catholic Church, so. All right. That being said, praise the Most High. Brother Cartier, you have the mic.
All praise to the Holy One of Israel for another lesson in our history. And it's kind of peculiar, huh? How they were making alliances with the Romans when they just got finished battling the Greeks.
Exactly.
But we know making alliances with these European powers is not a good thing at all, because the Native Americans told us that the white man speaks with forked tongue. And these Romans, woo-wee, they are very deceitful to the children of Israel back then. They act like they had their back, but they really didn't.
True be told, Brother Cartier.
I don't know if you saw that movie Caligula, but back when we was younger, when we was teenagers, I went to see that movie, man, and I couldn't watch all of it. So much debauchery. They were some terrible people in the things that they did. Did you see that film?
Yeah, I did too, Brother Cartier. They were a very perverted people, immoral people.
It was crazy. It made me sick. I had to get up halfway through it, man, and get out.
I don't blame you, Brother Cartier. I don't blame you.
But if that's how they were, according to that film, and they probably was much worse. Man, I'm glad I wasn't in that period of time.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
But Judas Maccabees and his brothers was going through it. And I guess they were doing the best they can to try to survive. But Most High put that punishment on us, and it wasn't going to be anything that took it off us, no matter what kind of alliances we made. And we still do the same thing today. We try to make alliances with people who still rule over us to ease the burden, to ease the pain.
How's that working out for us? How's that working out for us, brother? Okay.
So far,
the evidence speaks for itself.
So far, not so good.
Not so good, brother. Thank you very much, brother Cottrell. Not so good.
But like that song said, you got to love Yah. Got to let Yah know that you love him and be true and sincere about loving Yah. That's the only way you're going to get out of the situation. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Thank you very much, brother Cottrell. Fellow students, brother Cottrell will conclude the studies for the night in the 10th chapter of the prophet Hosea. Israel's sin and captivity. Praise Yah. Brother Cottrell, you have the mic.
All praise to the Holy One of Israel, O Pa'an, once again, for the great prophet Hosea, whose name means salvation. And the title of chapter 10 in my book, it says duplicity of heart. And that's something that you can't have with Yah. Got to be wholehearted, 100%. Not like Teddy Pendergrass in his song. He's saying 70-30, not 60-40, 50-50 love. No, y'all don't want 50-50. He wants 100%. He wants 100. In chapter 10, verse 1, it says, Yisrael is a luxuriant vine, bringing forth a great bounty of fruit. Yes, based on the blessings that Yah gives us when we're doing the right thing. The more his fruit increased, the more altars he built. That's when we went left. Yah was blessing us, but we building altars to other gods. The more prosperous his land became, the richer he made the sacred pillars. So the more Yah blessed us, the more we went astray. Their heart is false. Yeah, just like now. We got fake Israelites. They say one thing out their mouth, but in their heart is deceit. They're in it for themselves and not for the glory of Yah. Now they must pay the penalty for the guilt. Yeah, Yah's not going to let you get away with having a duplicit heart. You say one thing and do another. Elohim himself would destroy their altars and demolish their sacred pillars. Then they will say, we have no king because we did not serve Yah. And that's true today. We still don't have a king because we're not serving Yah. But even if we had a king, what could he do for us? Right, just like now. Even if we do have a king, what can the king do for the nation of Israel as we're scattered to the four corners of the earth? A king can't save us. They make many empty promises, making vows that you ain't going to keep. Swear false oaths, and draw up treaties. Did we just read about treaties? And you better not make an oath and not keep it, especially before Yah. Thus, litigation spreads like poisonous weeds in the furrows of the field. The inhabitants of Samaria, which is Yisrael, tremble for the calf of Beth Aven. They trembling before false God, just like we see our people in church. They get that Holy Ghost in church, and all hell breaks loose. The people mourn for it, and its idolatrous priests mourn over it. Yeah, we see the ministers in them churches. They be just as involved as the people, back then and even now. Over its glory that has departed from it, it will be carried to Assyria. All these false gods that our people worship in Israel while they were in control of the land. Yah say you're going to take the false gods with you too. It will be carried to Assyria as an offering to the great king. Ephraim will be disgraced, which we are, and Yisrael will be shamed by his schemes. And I asked Israelites, What part of our history should we be proud of? We should be ashamed of ourselves for the things our forefathers did back then and for the things that we do now. The king of Samaria will float away, all those kings of Israel, like a flimsy twig drifting on the water. The high places of Avan will be destroyed, the shrines where Israel sinned. Thorns and thistles shall flourish and cover their altars. You know what happens when you abandon buildings, how nature takes over. Thorns and thistles. They shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. Since the days of Geba, you have sinned, O Yisrael, and there you have remained. Did not war overtake the evildoers of Gibeah? I have come to confront the rebels and to chastise them. And he's going to do it again. He's going to chastise the rebels in the midst of us. Nations shall mass against them to punish them for their two crimes. And we're reading about it in the book of Maccabees, the Greeks, the Romans, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Medes, the Persians. Yes, the Most High uses these nations to punish our nation. Ephraim was a trained heifer that loved to thresh grain. I myself laid a yoke upon her fair neck. Yeah, y'all put guideposts on us. Can't do what you want, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. You got to control and master your spirit. However, I will harness Ephraim. Yehuda will be forced to plow, and Yaakov will harrow the land. Yeah, y'all gonna put us in check sooner or later. Sow righteousness for yourselves. That's a simple command. And reap a harvest of steadfast love. That's what we need from the Most High, from our Creator, his steadfast love. But only way that's coming is for us to do righteousness. Sow righteousness, do righteous things. You may not get rewarded right away, but the ultimate reward is Yah's steadfast love. Break up your fallow grounds. So we know what those fallow grounds are. The idols that we worship, the doctrines that we ascribe to, those are fallow grounds. The indoctrination, social engineering that we have received as a people. We have to unlearn what we've learned here in our captivity. That's what breaking up your fallow ground is. It's time to seek Yah. And that's what we're doing here on the Real Talk for Real People show. We're breaking up the fallow ground. We're getting rid of the old doctrines. And we're learning the word of Yah. Once you learn his word, you start praying to him for understanding and wisdom. You bring yourself closer to him, and he becomes closer to you. It's time to seek Yah so that he may come and rain down righteousness upon you. So you plant the seed of righteousness. Righteousness is going to be your reward in return. However, you have plowed wickedness, which we still do today. We're plowing wickedness and expecting the rewards of righteousness and the bounties of Yah. It don't work that way. We are reaping with what we plowed. We plowed wickedness and reaped depravity. Are we depraved right now? Yamsu calls it a monstrosity. Yes, we are depraved. And you have eaten the fruit of falsehood. Oh boy, falsehood. And we know the preachers in the churches are teaching falsehood. They're not teaching the word of Yah. We know the imams in the mosque are not teaching Yah's word. They're teaching falsehood. Because you have trusted in your chariots. We trust in the cars and the planes and the trains today. And in the multitude of your warriors. Yeah, the military might. That's the physical. We think we're like Bruce Lee. We could fight and win every battle because we're warriors. The tumult of war will engulf your people. Can you really handle war? And all your fortresses will be destroyed. I guess we couldn't. As Salman devastated Beth Arbel on a day of battle, when mothers were dashed to pieces with their children. And we've experienced that as a nation back then, all through the transatlantic slave trade, and even now. Thus shall it be done to you, O Bethel, the house of bread, because of your great wickedness, not just wickedness, but great wickedness. At dawn, the king of Yisrael will be utterly destroyed. So all your brothers out there trying to be king, listen, It's a tremendous responsibility because the weight of the nation falls on the king. The people of the land follow the king, and the king led the people into great wickedness. That's why the kings of Israel were sent off into captivity in Assyria and Babylon and never returned to this day. So we give thanks and praise to the Holy One of Israel for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to even look back on our reflection, our ancient past, our roots, and our culture. You might as well call it ancestry.com, and see how we can improve ourselves by not being rebellious, stiff-necked, and hard-headed, by sowing righteousness while we have the opportunity so we can receive Yah's steadfast love, because that's the aim and that's the goal. All praise to the Holy One of Israel for these valuable lessons. Praise Yah.
Thank you, Brother Cartier, for the insight and the word of Yah through the prophet Hosea. Give us some perspective. Give us some means of correction, course correct. Not by virtue of making alliances with our enemies, by virtue of humbling ourselves before the Most High, turning to the Most High away from our idolatry, and crying out to the Most High for the mistakes our ancients were made and the mistakes we continue to make. And also to gather ourselves together, not by with our allies, with the Most High, our only ally. Praise the Most High and bless His holy name. Fellow students, Brother Cottrell and my Isha, Sister Nasanya, the administrator of the show, we brought to you the word of the Most High. We've done our moral obligation and due diligence. Now it's something incumbent upon you to do something for yourselves. Study the Most High Word. Meditate on the Most High Word. Let the Most High Word, let His footstep be your pathway, by virtue His words. Rely on the Most High Word. Love the Most High Word. Then learn to love the Most High. Then learn to love yourselves, your brothers and sisters, as you love yourselves. Because that is an essential component of gathering one together. You can't gather one together to do no infighting. If you're going to gather together to do some infight, you might well stay apart. Okay? Gathering one together don't mean just get together, argue, fuss, fight, cuss, put your name on somebody, put your hand on somebody. No, it means getting together, gathering together to do something constructive and valuable in regards to this nation and in regards to the Most High. It's just that simple. It's just Brother Cottrell alluded to. If you want to be something special, if you want to be king, elder, whatever you want to be, you want to be this and that and the other, if you don't have no authority to be doing those things, you shouldn't be doing them. Based upon the Torah and the Tanakh, certainly upon the instructions and administration of the elders. Praise Yah and bless His holy. Because the Most High Word is going to work in spite of us. But it'll work for you much more individually if you utilize it. It works if you work it. Praise Yah. Isha, Sister Nasanya, Brother Cottrell, do you have any closing remarks in our comments?
No, I have none. I have none. All praises. I have none.
Thank you. Brother Cottrell.
All praise to the Holy One of Israel. Oh Yah, Yehovah, my King, for the record, I love you. I
You're
love
my
y'all.
brother.
I
You're
love
my
y'all.
brother.
Love my people. Love y'all. And Most High continue to put us on the righteous path so we can see if we can receive His steadfast love, because we definitely need that as I speak. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. We love y'all. And as my brother said, now ain't that the truth? We definitely need it. Hallelujah. Shalom. Good night.
You got to keep giving. You got to keep living. Living in the light. You got to keep living. You got to keep giving. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Every fail, just continue on. Resist temptations, be there to stand. Eternal life awaits in the end. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Let go of selfishness. Must be done with the Father's help. Suffering and sorrow brings you closer to God. He is the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. You got to keep giving. You got to keep living. Living in the light. You got to keep giving. You got to keep living. Witnessing the light. You got to keep walking in the light. You got to keep talking in the light. You got to keep giving in the light. You got to keep living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light. You got to keep giving.